So you know you should be doing more user research because you can't just guess at everything. Eventually, you need to talk to real users or potential users to make sure that you are getting the feedback and building a product that they actually want and that they're going to pay for. But I'm guessing that one of the reasons why you don't do research is that your boss or your colleagues don't believe in it. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to get your boss and colleagues to believe in user research and give you the green light to start doing more of it. But a little bit more about me before we get started. So I'm Doody, a user experience designer. I'm based in New York City, and these videos are filled with honest answers and insights to your questions about user experience design. And in case you want to learn more about user experience, you can check out my weekly user experience newsletter called theuxnotebook.com. So let's dive into this idea of, okay, I know I should be doing more user research and usability testing, but my boss says we don't need to do it. So some of the excuses that you've probably encountered are the following. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough money. It's going to be a distraction for us. It's going to take away our focus. We can't afford to pay people to participate in our research. And maybe my favorite is when people say, we don't need to do research because we are the user. Now, one funny story that happened, I was talking to a designer at a startup, and they said, you know, my founder says, we don't need to do research because I am the user. And the company had to do with some type of tracking for babies, some type of wearable. And then the designer said to me, you know, the crazy thing is the founder didn't have a baby. He'd never been through that experience, yet he kept saying, we don't need to do research because I'm the user and I plan to be the user. So a little bit of a problem there, and I hear that all the time, and I'm guessing that maybe you hear that as well, where your boss or the founder or the CEO says, we don't need to do testing because we are the user. And the tricky thing with that is that you are not the user. So even if you, let's say, are building a running product and you're a runner, there's other runners in the company, maybe you are, in fact, users of the product, but you're not the normal user because you are too close to it. You're thinking about this every day, every minute, and you're thinking about it through not a normal lens that someone would think about it who wasn't working at that company. So you are not the user and you're not the normal user. So how do we get our boss and colleagues to buy into research? Well, we have to treat this problem like a UX problem. We have to do a little research, understand the problem, and figure out a solution. So next time someone says, no, we're not doing research for whatever reason, think about this. Think about, okay, no is not the dead end. This is the beginning of a conversation about research, and your challenge is to figure out why are they saying no. So take a little bit of time to maybe interview them, interview people that work closely with them, and figure out why don't they believe in research? Was there a bad experience in the past? Did a past research project go over budget? Did it result in insights that turned out to be not very helpful? Maybe because the team didn't put enough effort into finding the right user research participants to talk to in the first place. But step one is to figure out what is the reason behind the no? Why are they so opposed to research? Once you figure that out, then you have to think about what matters to them right now in the business. And by that I mean, what metrics matter? If it's a new startup, a new product, think about, is it just collecting email addresses or just driving traffic to that page? If it's an established product, is it getting more people on a monthly subscription? If it's a commerce product, getting more people to purchase more in their cart or stop abandoning their carts. Do some research and figure out what those metrics are. Step 3 is to then do a little work on your own to figure out, okay, what can I learn from existing sources that is not one-on-one interviews or usability testing to bring some insights to my boss or colleagues. And by that I mean, look at your analytics. Chances are people are not looking at it enough. Figure out what you can learn from the analytics. What you can learn from your customer service team. What are people writing in? What questions do they have? What praise do they have? Same with social media. If it's an app, look on the product, the app reviews. Google yourself to see if people are writing about you. But find these other sources where people are talking about your product or where data can show you some insights. And then use that as a way to say to your boss, hey, look, we haven't done user research yet. We're not there yet, but I want to show you what I've learned just by spending half a day, couple of hours combing through all this information that's available. This will get them really excited. Then this is a great segue into a conversation of, okay, look at what we learned from this. Imagine what we can learn from talking to people one-on-one and setting up usability tests to see them use our product. After you get them really excited like this, then you can start to plan out, okay, what is our minimum viable research? What is the one thing, two things that we could test that will give us insights that are going to be helpful to us making changes to the product that are going to move the needle of the metrics that are really important to them. So if it's an e-commerce product and the metrics have to do with abandoned carts, then you wouldn't want to test the entire product experience and how people search and filter and navigate and all that stuff. What do they do on a product detail page? You would want to test the checkout process. So do that. But you get the idea. Don't propose to your boss some giant research project. You have to start small with these baby steps, these minimum viable research, where you can propose research around the activities that are going to influence the metrics that matter. So I know that was a lot. Go back and rewatch this video maybe a couple of times or jump back to the parts that you need to kind of start implementing now. But this should give you a good framework to educate your boss about why research matters, understand why they're opposed to it, figure out what matters to them, what metrics they're going to measure your research by, and then propose your first simple research project to them, minimum viable research. So that's it for today. I hope that you are able to take these steps and start acting on them. And stay tuned for more videos about user research. In the meantime, if you have a question for me, you can just pop over to my website, sarahdoody.com, click on the contact link, and then you'll be able to submit a question that way. And also, like I said, if you have more questions about UX, you want to learn more, get on that weekly newsletter, theuxnotebook.com. And in the meantime, good luck, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys.